Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Victoria and this is Thyme and Tenderness. So for this week's video, it is going to be a little bit of a chatty video that I like to do every once in a while because there is something that I would like to address. And what I would like to address is the topic or the controversy surrounding the Tradwife movement. Now, I have addressed this in the past in the form of short form video content, either here on YouTube Shorts or on Instagram Reels and TikTok, but I thought I would go ahead and make a dedicated video. There is an old proverb that I strongly believe in, and it goes like this: the shrewd one sees the danger and conceals himself. Pretty much saying that it is wise and it is wisdom to, if you see something that is potentially dangerous or going to be a problem, to address it ahead of time, to either address it or to get away from it. So that is what I am doing here today, and I am addressing something that I think might be a little bit dangerous or concerning. So if you are unfamiliar with what the Tradwife movement is, I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown, a history, as well as my stance within this so-called online community. So Tradwife is a term used to describe a traditional wife or a traditional housewife. It's just the term traditional wife shortened down to Tradwife. Now, am I a Tradwife? Yes. Absolutely. I am a full-time stay-at-home wife, mother, homemaker. My husband and I adhere to traditional gender roles. That is just what works for me and my family. And that is what works for millions of families around the world. The only difference between me and my family and the other families around the world is that I make a little bit of an income and I have a hobby here online. And if you are unaware of how online content creation works, it's that when we are a creator, like for me, for instance, I am making content specific to what's called a niche or like a genre. So I make cooking, cleaning, and homemaking content geared towards people who are already like me, traditional wives, stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home wives, you know, that sort. So when it comes to content creation, I am trying to find people that already like this type of content, and I want to tell Google, tell Instagram, tell TikTok, and tell Facebook, hey, my videos align with this genre or this niche of content, and to the people that like that content, you might want to recommend my videos to those people. And one way we do that is to use tags and keywords. So for a while, at the very beginning of my YouTube career here on YouTube in 2018 and on Instagram, I was using the Tradwife hashtag. I've actually started to use it again, but I will talk about that in a little later on in the video. So I found, so this is me now going into the history of the Tradwife movement as I personally know it, as well as my personal involvement. So like I said, I started my YouTube channel here in 2018. Shortly after starting my YouTube channel, I was trying to find an online community that my videos meshed well with and that I could use tags and keywords so that my videos could find viewers that would appreciate my content. It was around that time that I found the hashtag Tradwife. And after scrolling through it briefly on Instagram and seeing some of the stuff here on YouTube, very briefly just taking it in at surface level and then following a few creators that I really enjoyed, I started using the hashtag. I didn't think anything of it. After looking through and doing my own, at the time, surface level research, I thought it was just harmless and that all it was a shortened version of traditional wife. One of the first content creators that I came into contact with, and she and I followed each other for a very long time. We were mutuals. We have spoken, as in we have talked to each other via direct message on Instagram, was Alena of the Darling Academy. Now, Alena, she runs an online blog and she is an author, and her online blog is etiquette based as well as to provide uplifting information and motivation to the fellow stay-at-home wife. Now, at the beginning of 2019, the BBC contacted Alena. If you're unfamiliar with what the BBC is, it is the British Broadcasting Channel. It is like the NBC of England. And they wanted to do a spotlight on her and her online blog and her online presence and her book. So it was in that interview, which I will link that interview in the comments down below or in the description down below, that she used for the first time the word Tradwife. or the phrase Tradwife. That interview aired and we were all so very excited for Alena. The interview was lovely. She did a couple of photo shoots, but what happened after the interview was when things started to get concerning. After the interview, other stories started popping up. Other journalists were trying to piggyback off of this BBC interview and uncover the truths about the Tradwife movement. One of these journalists chose to use Handmaid's Tale imagery, which is a television show on Hulu about a dystopian future in which a lot of women are essentially slaves. This journalist chose to use that type of imagery, and she made the connection saying that people who are online using the Tradwife hashtag are part of an alt-right white supremacist movement. Now, it is true that there are hateful Reddit forums that do use the term Tradwife and they do glorify the movement as their ideals, but it is not true that every single person who identifies as a traditional housewife is part of that movement. I want to make it abundantly clear. White supremacy and hatred towards any person based on the color of their skin, their race, or their ethnicity is absolutely abhorrent. It is not something I believe in, not something that I would ever condone, and I will call it out when I see it. However, unfortunately, these journalists took this small subset of people and ran with it and started posting stories and articles and videos one right after the other condemning homemaking content online, as well as anybody who uses the Tradwife hashtag. It was in 2020 that I started receiving a lot of interview requests from news organizations and journalists to talk about it, and I chose not to speak out at that time. I chose not to speak out at that time because I was very new in my YouTube career, in my online social media content creation career, and it made me nervous. I did not think I was ready for any backlash or any sort of intense spotlight at the time. Now, flash forward to 2023, I have become a lot more comfortable in my skin, and I am here and I am ready to speak out. I am Puerto Rican, I am Latina. I do not believe in anything that the media is saying that traditional housewives stand for. I don't believe in it at all. I am just here to showcase my personal lifestyle in a more softer, slower way of living, and that is okay. I also do want to call out the journalists for doing these shady interview practices and these shady articles. I have had personal acquaintances online who are fellow content creators who were contacted by journalists, and the journalists would say, hey, we're doing a cover story about this, would you like to be interviewed? And they would say yes, and they would do the interview, and then the interview would be spun in such a way that it made my friends look bad. I cannot tell you how many times this has happened. Also, these journalists also like to pick and choose who they talk to. Back when I was receiving a lot of interview requests, I'll insert a picture here, but I looked very different than I do now. I had the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel haircut, I had highlights, I was dressing in a 1950s fashion, and that's when I was getting a lot of interview requests. Now, since having a baby, my fashion is a little bit different, my style is a little bit different, and I'm no longer cutting my hair to that style, and I'm no longer bleaching my hair. It's interesting that around the same time that I, cut out all the blonde in my hair and stopped dressing 1950s vintage, that, those interview requests stopped. These journalists like to say that this is something that only white people do, or they're white influencers or whatever, when there are so many women of color and of minority groups who really enjoy homemaking. And there are a lot of big name accounts out there who have large followings that these journalists have not chosen to highlight or look into. And to that just has showed me that the media and journalism is not always truthful, and I think we've known that for a while now. So I am speaking out now. I'm making this video, like I said before, based on that proverb, the shrewd one sees the danger and conceals himself, because I have accepted a couple of interviews recently. I have a podcast that I think is going to be coming out on Friday, which I will, link in the comments below when it is coming out. I was interviewed for a podcast, and I was interviewed for a magazine called The Cut. It is owned by the New New Yorker. I do not know what way that interview for that magazine is going to go. I do not know if the journalist is going to be kind in her article. I do not know if she is going to be critical or if she is going to be praiseworthy. I do not know. All I know is that I have decided to be brave and put myself out there. And I do know that that comes with some sort of criticism from some. And that is why I'm putting out this video, because I want you, my wonderful community, to know that you are safe here, that this is not some sort of front for any sort of nefarious beliefs or practices. This is just me being me. And I truly believe what I always say in that everybody can be a homemaker. If you have a place to put your head at night, you deserve to be able to feel comfortable and be able to make that space your home. And my content here is not out to change anybody or to say that somebody or people should live a certain way. That is not my content at all. My content here is for people who are already like me, for people who already enjoy this type of content, and for us to all connect and, you know, enjoy and support each other. So that is why I am making this video, to speak out, to talk about my history with this so-called movement. And it's not, I know a lot of people are saying that it is a TikTok trend. It is not a TikTok trend. Tradwives and us using this hashtag and keywords and, you know, these tags have been around long before TikTok. Like I said, I started my channel in 2018 and I started using the hashtag in late 2018 and well into 2019. And that brings us back to me using the hashtag again. So I stopped using the hashtag once I became aware of the bad people who were also using it. I did not want, and I do not want, to be associated with them in any way, shape, or form. Like I mentioned before, hatred and white supremacy and all of that nastiness is absolutely abhorrent. It has no place in our society. So I'm using the hashtag again. I am using it because I sat down and thought about it, and my friend Cynthia Lowen here on YouTube, she and I are friends. We talk quite frequently about YouTube and femininity and homemaking and motherhood. We chat a lot. She made a video recently, I'll tag her video in the description down below, talking about this exact topic. And she, you know, hit the nail on the head about a lot of things, about a lot of the media's misconceptions about the Tradwife movement and the community online. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to start using the hashtag again. I'm going to start using the hashtag again because I want to stomp out those evil, bad people. I want to use that hashtag again because there are genuine people who are like I was, who saw the hashtag for simply at surface face value as it just being a shortened version of traditional wife or traditional housewife. I want them to find my community online, my channel here, my accounts, and know that they are in a safe place where they can genuinely find upbuilding, uplifting, and motivational homemaking content. So I have started using the hashtag again. And I know by starting to use that hashtag again, some bad people are going to find my account, and some people who think that I am a bad person are going to find my account, and that's why I'm making this video. So yeah, I hope I was able to put all of my words and my thoughts into words and to share it with you. I would love to have further conversations with you in the comments down below. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please follow me on Instagram, TikTok. I would love to have you there. Know that I love you. I think you're a beautiful person no matter who you are, where you come from, and I hope that you can feel safe here on my account and on my social media platforms. We all just want to be better homemakers, and I hope that my content can help you reach whatever homemaking goal you are looking to obtain. So thank you for joining me for this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!